Alrighty, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another trade recap. In today's video, again, we're going to be going over the trade I ended up taking. Again, pretty A+ setup today. Ended up losing around $1,700 across 5 accounts. Well, again, it was $350 per account times 5, so it's like around $1,700. Yeah, so let's just kind of hop right in. Taking a look here. Good morning, everyone, coming in today with a bullish bias. Again, but the condition will be new week opening gap. I wanted to see price rebalance to that and then seek higher. I know it might be a little bit of a stretch, but we are nowhere near equilibrium of the dealing range, and I do believe we can bounce from here, but I need everything to align, and that's just not happening at the moment. Okay, so again, pretty simple. I wanted to be more bearish here to this new week opening gap. Again, once we swept this low, probably filled the new week opening gap, that could be a sign for price to then go higher. And again, in order for me to be bullish, though, without mitigating this, I would need a bullish breakup structure, right? Because essentially we did sweep the daily low. If we would have broken above here, we could have potentially targeted higher, right? So again, once we would have gotten the weekly opening gap, I would have looked for a mechanical trade to trade to a 15-minute or a 5-minute unfilled gap. But look what price did instead, right? So as you can see here, if we look at market open, what did price do here? So in market open, 930 open higher and put in this bearish SMT. As you can see on NQ, this high is above this high, and on ES, this high is below this high, forming that bearish SMT. And it's happening inside of this 5-minute gap, right? So essentially this 5-minute SIBI is still holding, and then 930 open higher, bearish SMT, and then we get a flush displacing down, right? A flush lower displacing lower. If you look at the 4-hour candle, we ended up closing below all these lows, forming this clear bearish breaker, right? Okay, so this to me, I was like, okay, we have a high, a low, a higher high, lower low. We're just gonna continue where? To this new week opening gap that hasn't been filled, and that aligns with what? Equilibrium of the dealing range. From this low to this high, we have equilibrium of the dealing range. So again, everything is aligning here to be bearish, right? So 930 bearish SMT, displacing lower, forming a bearish 4-hour breaker. And what is the drawn liquidity? Equilibrium of the dealing range. So now what am I looking for? A rebalance, right? So essentially right here at 10 a.m., we open up this 15-minute gap, right? So this was to me A+. So 10 a.m. we open a 15-minute gap, and I want to see price trade into that gap before going lower. So what did price do? Again, we are already essentially inside of what? Equilibrium, right? But since the 10-minute, since the 10 a.m. candle, I'm expecting this high to get swept because this high would be the 15-minute for value gap, essentially getting tapped into. What did price do? Form in that bearish SMT. So at this point in time, what do we have? 10 a.m. is opening higher. We form in, again, 10 a.m. is opening higher, tapping into this 15-minute SIBI, forming in a bearish SMT, and then inversing the highest time frame gap of this dealing leg, right? So what is the drawn liquidity going to be? The new week opening gap, right? And there's an intermediate term low right over here. So again, and I see lower, I see this whole thing getting filled, but all I need is this, right? Low hanging fruit is what I wanted to see. So I took this short. Once again, I got to tap back in again. Right here, it wouldn't have been a 1-to-1 RR. So I waited for a tap back in. So once the price tapped me back in inside of the 5-minute, I ended up taking a short right here. So price tapped me in, and then I ended up getting stopped out right here. So short, again, we printed an order block, bearish breaker here, a change in state of delivery. This was super A+ in my opinion. Again, 10 a.m. opening higher, immediately displacing lower, forming a change in state of delivery, closing below these lows. I mean, what more could you really ask for? This was, in my opinion, extremely A+. Just price didn't deliver lower, and that is okay. Yeah, that's pretty much the trade recap. There's nothing really I have to say. Again, I know we are inside of a daily BISI essentially. We're inside of this daily BISI, and we could end up trading higher, and price can overextend. So that's why I didn't put on my full risk. I ended up just risking around 350 per account, and I ended up losing. Again, still A+. I love the trade. It was great. Just didn't happen, and that is okay. Not every single day is going to be a winning day. It just comes down to being very patient. Again, after this, what did price do? We ended up inversing the 15-minute for value gap to the upside, and then Again, we tapped into 930. We ended up tapping into the 930 opening price. As you can see, price ended up just reverting back down immediately, and then yeah, I mean, we ended up, as you can see, sinking all the way back down. To me, there's just really nothing. We're not delivering from a higher time frame gap. We're not really doing anything here. So at this point in time, I just said, you know what? If we inverse back up, we inverse back down. Sorry. If we inverse back up, we inverse back down. This is really inconsistent because we're not delivering from any gap. And that is okay. Yeah, so I really don't have anything else to say. Price wanted to see lower. We ended up overextending, tapping into opening price, seeking back right back down. Again, there was just no trade here for me. There was nothing here that I absolutely loved. There was this 5-minute gap that was here, and then we had this 3-minute IFEG to the 5-minute. Could have gone break even there. Again, 3-minute inverse, boom, break even, and then we see a sink lower here. But yeah, I don't really see anything else to really go over. There was a 4-minute here, but again, essentially doesn't make sense when you have a clear 5-minute there, right? With an intermediate term low, I believe. Yeah, it's an intermediate term low. Even the 2-minute looks really good, but the high time frame and the highest time frame of this leg is a 3-minute. I guess that makes sense. So yeah, I mean, there's just really nothing really to trade here. We're not delivering from a gap. We're just delivering from premium. Price is clearly just still lower, and then we just sank, right? And now we're just chopping, right? Because this was the drawn liquidity for the day. So I ended up getting off after this happened. Yeah, really nothing you could do. These are situations where things happen and you're not going to get a setup at times, and that is completely okay. Sometimes you'll get it, sometimes you won't. And your job as a trader is to be able to apply risk appropriately. Win or lose, it doesn't matter because you're always focused on the process of every single trade. And that's just your approach that you should always have, right? I lost today. Yes, it sucked. Yes, it bothered me for a moment. But I told myself, okay, did I follow all of my rules? Did I apply risk appropriately? And the answer is yes. So is there something to really truly be upset about? And the answer is no. There's nothing to be upset about. I followed all of my rules. I did exactly what I was supposed to do. And that's it, right? After that, you move on, you journal. I'm posting my trade recap. I'm going to journal this trade. I'm going to journal that I follow my rules. Although we were in a higher time frame gap, that is why I lowered my risk. The draw liquidity was undeniably clear. Time and price were aligned. We came into a premium of the range. We tap into a high time frame PD rate. We inverse a high time frame gap. I waited for it to tap back in. I lowered my risk. Everything I did was appropriate. To me, that's an A+. I just have to always remain in the mentality of patience, abundance, and having fun, right? Because at the end of the day, it's just candlesticks, and the fact that we even get to trade is a luxury within itself. And showing up every single day with a positive attitude and being able to actually perform and execute and learn every single day is a gift. So there's nothing to really to be upset about. It's only upside if you look at it in that perspective. If you want to look at it in a negative perspective, you can, but it won't get you anywhere, right? So you need to always be positive, learn, and move on. Okay, so with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this trade recap. Very simple, very straightforward. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, all right, other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.